If you guys are anything like me, you love and can appreciate a really high quality, long lasting fragrance that is going to make you feel comfortable and is just very comforting to you. And so today we're going to be talking about 8 fragrances that I wore this past week that definitely fit that bill and are going to make you feel warm. They're going to make you feel comforting. And most importantly, they're going to make you smell extremely expensive smelling. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing, stick around, and let's jump right in. What's going on, everyone? It's Eli with Common Sense. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon, and as you know, it's my week in fragrance. So today we're going to be doing that theme of comforting fragrances. And I absolutely love picking out these themes for the upcoming week because it really gets my mind going, and I really enjoy that. So starting it off really strong for this first fragrance on Monday, I went with Kingsgate Fragrances Louis XVI. Now this fragrance is going to be a very close rendition of Creed's Aventus Absolute. So that fragrance is a really nice spicy fragrance. It kind of reminds me of the original Creed Aventus, but it definitely adds a little bit more of a designer aspect to it, and it just twists up that DNA, makes it a little bit more fruity. But this fragrance is such a beautiful, beautiful, long-lasting fragrance. I sprayed probably 3 or 4 sprays of this. I did one on my wrists and a couple in my hair, and I remember at my Monday meetings, I walked by somebody and she said, "Ooh, man, you smell really good." And so it's kind of rare that I get compliments at work, but yeah, she really, really liked this one. And my goodness, it is a sweet, gourmand, woody, spicy fragrance. And it definitely smells smoother than the Afnan Supremacy Collector's Edition that I just did a review on. It's a little bit creamier, and you actually can save 10% on your orders from Kingsgate Fragrances with the code Common Sense. So if you want to check that out, go get it in the description, and you can also support the channel. But my God, is this a long-lasting, high-quality, comforting fragrance. And that one was Kingsgate Fragrances Louis XVI. Now Tuesday I went out of town and I wore one of my favorite fragrance DNAs of all time. I wore a really affordable dupe of the Ombre Nomad by Louis Vuitton. So this fragrance is Nouveau Ambre Parfum by Flavia, I believe. Yeah, this one is from Flavia. So this fragrance definitely captures that really nice animalistic leather. It's kind of dark, peppery, a little bit salty at the same time. And it just has that beautiful, intoxicating, comforting leather quality that really just does smell like money. And so this DNA, I think, gets it super close. I have several different fragrances that kind of dupe that same DNA, but I love this one, and it's about a 6 to 7 hour fragrance, and it's pretty affordable. I want to say you can get it for about $30. And while a lot of these Ombre Nomad dupes don't last super long, I think for about that 6 to 7 hour mark, I think that's pretty fair for the price. And it smells really good. And that one is Flavia Nouveau Ambre. And then in the afternoon, I stopped by my friend Hassan's fragrance shop, Shaar Perfume in Sacramento, and he hooked me up with this new fragrance that he's carrying. So this one is just labeled as Rosendo Matteu, but I believe this one is the number 5 Floral Amber Sensual Musk fragrance dupe. So the way he does his dupes is he has extrait de parfum fragrances. They have these nice pressurized atomizers and these beautiful niche kind of quality bottles, but I always love stopping by his store, and I did take a few pictures there, but my God, does this stuff smell high quality, long lasting. And it is an extrait de parfum. Again, I sprayed it all over my clothes, and I could smell this 2 or 3 days later still. In fact, I can still smell it today on that same sweater that I wore out of town on Tuesday. But my God, this stuff is a nice ambery, warm, comforting, just like a cold weather fragrance. If you have like a nice high quality sweater and you just want something very warm, sweet, sensual, and just a little bit floral, just like the name would suggest, I think this is a perfect choice. And you can order these, I think if you just call his number, you can Google up his store, Shaar Perfume, and you can order it and he'll ship it anywhere. But my God, this stuff is really, really high quality. And I guess that one is just Rosendo Matteu. Then the next day on Wednesday, I wore a super high quality fragrance. This was actually a blind buy that I also got at Shaar Perfume, but my God, does this stuff smell so intoxicating. This one is from the house of Mancera, and this one is Hindu Kush. Now, this fragrance to me smells like Christmas. It's kind of smoky, incensey, and it's definitely green and herbaceous. And the cannabis note here isn't going to be like a smoked cannabis. It doesn't smell like you're smoking a blunt. It just smells like a really nice, high-quality CBD oil, or just this warm, radiating green, comforting quality to it. It's almost got like a piney forest quality to this, but for some reason it just reminds me of Christmas. Like, it's almost like there's a touch of like a fruitiness, and you definitely have some rich, warm spices and some amber in there, and it just smells so comforting. I did receive a couple compliments from different people when I wore this one, but yeah, I definitely am happy with this blind buy, and it lasts a really long time. I think it's like a 10-12 hour fragrance, but this stuff is highly slept on, and don't let the name fool you, because it is going to be a very rich, warm fragrance with a nice bit of like a Christmas holiday spice. And that one is Hindu Kush by Mancera. Now on Thursday, I decided to pull out a really nice niche fragrance. I wanted to feel good about myself that day, and I wanted to just go with something a little bit expensive, and so I went with Initio's Oud for Greatness Neo. Now this fragrance I absolutely love because it takes that original Oud for Greatness DNA, that kind of spicy, oudy, warm quality from the original one, and it gives it a little bit of a bergamot and lavender, and so it adds a little bit of like a creamy, more easy to wear version of that. It kind of updates the notes, and it is a really well pulled off flanker to the original, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Halton, but I still think this stuff is absolutely amazing, and if you can get it for about $200 or so, then you got a steal. And this one I also wore with a nice sweater, so really all of these can be sweater weather fragrances, so if you want something just very comforting and luxurious smelling, then really any of these are going to be good. But I did also receive a couple compliments from this one in the workplace, so hey, maybe I'm going to start wearing these a little bit more. But this is really compliment getting stuff here. And that one is Initio Oud for Greatness Neo. And then Friday morning, I was scrolling through the fragrance subreddit, and I saw somebody talking about this fragrance. This one's Tom Ford Ombre Leather, and I decided to pull it out and try it again because they said they got a ton of compliments on it, and my goodness, this stuff is a comforting compliment pooler. It is such a beautiful leather fragrance. It's one of the best designer fragrances you can get, and I know people do kind of argue, they're like, oh no, Tom Ford is niche. No, it's designer. It's like in the middle. It's very high-end designer. It's probably the best designer you can get, but my goodness, this stuff is so dark, moody, and with a nice overcast and cold day, it really does play nicely with some of the jasmine and some of those white musky florals in there. They really do just add a nice mature quality to it, but I absolutely love the way this smells, and I love wearing this on a rainy, cold day, and man, this is exactly how I wanted to smell at the end of a nice busy week and the start of a really relaxing weekend. And so that one is Tom Ford Ombre Leather. You really just can't get a more confident DNA than this one. And then Saturday morning yesterday, it was also super rainy and very cold outside, and I decided to pull out one of my favorite rainy day fragrances. This one is a cheapie, and it's $14.99. I got this one at TJ Maxx, and you can see these all the time at your rack stores, but this is Milestone's Velvet Collection Black Incenso, and this is going to be a dupe of the Dolce & Gabbana. I think it was the Velvet Incenso. I always get the names confusing because they're so close, but yeah, this fragrance is such a masterpiece. It's got a pressurized atomizer, and it just makes you smell so freaking good, especially in the cold weather. Like, this stuff has a beautiful forest-like quality. It's kind of herbaceous, and I absolutely love the spruce and the kind of mossy tones that they use combined with the incense and the smoke. And it's not going to be a super dark and like choking, cloying smoke or incense. This is just pure class and sophistication, and it actually reminds me of a Louis Vuitton fragrance as well. I think it was the Nuit de Fou. I tried that one when I was also out of town, and yeah, my God, this stuff smells so good. If I ever feel like I'm super stressed, I do sometimes spray this one on because it just has a calming and comforting quality for some reason. And I think some of those just really nice, smoky and relaxing, earthy notes definitely kind of ground me. It's just a comforting beast. Longevity is about 6 hours, maybe a little bit less, but really for 15 bucks, it's a great fragrance. And that one is Milestone Velvet Collection Black Incenso. And last but not least, a super underrated fragrance house from the Middle East. This is Middle Eastern niche, not a Middle Eastern cheapie, although they are semi-affordable for the juice that you're getting. This you can get for about 80 or 90 bucks, and this one is from the house of Attar collection, and this one is Musk Kashmir. So all morning I just smelled so creamy, musky, and this has a beautiful floral quality to it. I think it has some gardenia and some like creamy sandalwood or something in there, but this really is just a super relaxing white musky fragrance. So if you want to smell clean, soapy, and slightly sweet at the same time, then this is going to be a perfect fragrance, and this is for musk lovers for sure. And I like that this isn't going to be like an olfactive bomb like some musk fragrances where they just go super synthetic and over the top. This isn't going to do that. This is going to smell pretty natural, and I just love the way that this smells. And I do want to say, though this is an eau de parfum, it performs like an extrait de parfum, and this stuff just lasts and lasts. It's easily a 12-14 hour fragrance for sure. And that one is Attar Collection's Musk Kashmir. So there we have it, 8 relaxing fragrances that are super comforting and just what you need for a nice cold winter afternoon. So let me know some of your picks down below, and I'd love to hear them. If you have any recommendations for these comforting fragrances, just let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing week and just spend some time with your family and get to do the things that you want to do this week. I'm Eli with Common Sense. Until the next time, bye-bye.